Valuable information came out today by the WBN News of Deontay Wilder in line for a chunk of $10 million that Tyson Fury have to pay off in order to face Anthony Joshua in order to escape the mediation. The WBN News reported the mediation opened between Wilder and Tyson Fury over a failed trilogy bout could be concluded within a few weeks. Once both sides have aired out their views on whether there remains an existing deal between them, Wilder could pocket at least millions of dollars, in which Eddie Hearn recently came out claiming that Fury versus Anthony Joshua is a done deal, like I reported yesterday, which I'm gonna leave the link for that video in the comment section below. The only obstacle right now is Wilder versus Fury mediation over the trilogy bout due to the rematch clause. Now, what's ironic about this whole situation is that in 2021, Eddie Hearn is facing the same problem he was facing in 2020 from making Fury versus Anthony Joshua fight official, which is Wilder versus Fury trilogy. We already knew in 2020 both teams, Fury and Anthony Joshua's, agreed to a 2-fight deal. So this is nothing but recycled news. The biggest obstacle is still in the way, which is, for the moment, Wilder versus Fury mediation. Due to that same rematch clause, it have not changed, which Eddie Hearn acknowledged the obstacle. He gave his views on the glove gate, where Tyson Fury tampered with his gloves, but more importantly, he concluded by stating, and I quote, "But if there is a contract, Fury has to give Wilder some compensation to take these 2 fights," end of the quote. So, if the rematch clause did expire, according to Bob Arum, in which he stated there is nothing binding Tyson Fury to that rematch clause anymore, he's free to go, then can someone please explain, if Tyson Fury is free to go, why does he have to pay millions of dollars to compensate Deontay Wilder, according to Eddie? Unless he's really trying to breach the contract. You do not have to be a lawyer to put 1 and 2 together. Are you decafs smarter than the 5th grader or not? Because I'm starting to question every single one of you decafs' IQ. But back to the topic at hand. As for Wilder, Hearn did not mention an exact figure, but if there is a binding agreement, there is no chance it would be less than Usyk cut. All in, Fury versus Joshua will cost, at the very least, close to $10 million. And that's if Wilder fee matches Usyk's, which it may not. It could be much higher. And we know it's going to be much higher. Nevertheless, the main point here, Wilder is not going to take any step-aside money, which I could guarantee you that 100%. Wilder already said it out of his own mouth, that there is no amount of money that's going to stop him from getting his revenge with his own hand. Matter of fact, even Bob Arum back in 2020 came out and clarified that Wilder is not willing to take any step-aside money for Fury to fight Anthony Joshua. Like I said before, the truth slowly but surely is coming out. I just reported yesterday that Bob Arum claimed there is no mediation. Then the following statement, Bob said, well, there was mediation over Christmas Eve and New Year's. Them two statements contradicted each other. On top of all of that, those are the main 2 days of each month. You telling me the mediator, the retired judge himself, the lawyers, and all of the above decided to work on Christmas Eve and New Year's? Like they don't have nothing better to do on Christmas Eve in New Year's than to work on mediation. Like they couldn't pick any better date. Because I don't know what kind of lawyers are these, but my lawyer doesn't even work on Christmas Eve. But that's beside the point. The point remains, Bob Arum stated there is nothing blocking or stopping Anthony Joshua from fighting Tyson Fury. They already have a date, a location, and a place. Bob Arum also added, like I told you guys on my last video, that Tyson Fury told the judge or the mediator that he will not fight Deontay Wilder, not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Therefore, if that's where Team Fury stands, and according to them, the rematch clause expired in October, in which there is nothing binding Tyson Fury to the rematch clause anymore. So why are they trying to pay Deontay Wilder millions of dollars in order to escape the mediation? Something is not adding up. If Anthony Joshua has to pay Usyk step-aside money because he's the mandatory and the mandatory is due soon, then why is Tyson Fury trying to pay Deontay Wilder millions of dollars to escape the rematch clause if there is nothing binding him? Since Fury is the WBC champion, so why is Fury trying to pay Deontay Wilder all that money for free? Therefore, let's not be silly. There's nothing free in this world. We know the only thing that makes sense is that there is something binding Tyson Fury to that rematch clause. So he has to honor it. Because Bob Arum, he used to be an attorney. So he know the damages will be extremely heavy if Tyson Fury does not honor the rematch clause. Furthermore, let's put things in perspective. It was Bob Arum that wanted to postpone the fight till 2021 between Wilder and Fury, which Tyson Fury co-signed him because he said, "I will not fight Deontay Wilder without a crowd." Then Team Fury asked Team Deontay Wilder to postpone the fight till later than October. Shortly after, Team Fury won a claim the rematch clause was expired after both ESPN and Fox mutually agreed to postpone the fight until January 2021 for a better date. That's the moment Tyson Fury said, "Oh well, I'm free to go." However, it does not work that way. The plan was strategic for Tyson Fury to escape justice. But Deontay Wilder still, to this day, wants to deliver justice with his own hand in the ring. Because that lawsuit will be coming if Tyson Fury breached the rematch clause. But it's ironic to me, Tyson Fury claimed the reason why he did not want to fight in January 2021 is because of depression, so on and so forth. Nothing but express lies coming from a Fury. Nothing new. However, do you guys know we in January 2021 now? And we still in mediation till this day? We could have had the trilogy this month if Tyson Fury didn't decide to pull out and cherry pick Kabali in the UK on December 5th. However, Deontay Wilder won the first step of mediation by blocking Tyson Fury from cherry picking Kabali. So how is old media going to justify Tyson Fury telling express lies in order to escape the trilogy, which is his doom? That's how he treating it, since his method of cheating by tampering with his gloves got exposed. Fury practiced in sparring in order to execute fight night. In the meantime, Tyson Fury hope insurance is in full effect. I mean, time after time, Fury get exposed for telling a lie after another lie. I thought the whole purpose of AJ versus Fury is for them to fight in the UK. But they fighting in the Middle East, according to Bob and Eddie. What sense does that make for two UK fighters to fight for Undisputed supposedly. However, they fighting in the Middle East. That does not make any sense whatsoever. See, what old media is not going to tell you is the truth, which is Tyson Fury relinquished his license in the UK in order to escape an 8-year ban by UKADA, in which he took steroids in the past. However, the bigger case is that he bribed a farmer to lie in court and blame the fact that Tyson Fury failed a drug test due to steroids on contaminated wild boar that are extinguished. But I guess in the UK, they handing out extinguished animals to Tyson Fury so he could get back in shape, or he could get in shape in order to keep up with the like of Klitschko's, because that was before he even went to depression. Depression was just a makeup story, a cover-up for Tyson Fury, in which old media pushed it to the full front in order to cover up Tyson Fury's dirty past. So the conclusion to all of this is that thanks to Tyson Fury, we still in mediation in January, where we could have actually had the trilogy already. And instead of Tyson Fury losing millions of dollars for the mediation that could escalate to arbitration or legal matters, instead of all of the above, Tyson Fury could have made up to $50 million if he actually honored his trilogy bout with Deontay Wilder. And then he could have pursued 2 fights with Anthony Joshua. However, clearly Tyson Fury has something to hide. That's why they want to pay Deontay Wilder millions of dollars in order to escape the rematch clause. But like I said time and time again, I never heard of an incident where a fighter in the past escaped a rematch clause and breached his contract successfully. We saw Ruiz try to do the same thing with Anthony Joshua, but it did not work. But old media want to paint the narrative as if Deontay Wilder does not have a case, when it's Tyson Fury, the one that's doing the running. Therefore, if Wilder does not have a case, we would not be in mediation still. If Wilder does not have a case, Team Fury will not be offering Deontay Wilder millions of dollars to escape mediation. Simple and plain. With all the facts being stated, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe below. If you're trying to get smarter by the minute, if you're trying to get dumber by the second, don't. And listen to these decafs, the dumb, casual ass fans that don't know shit about boxing. Word to Roger Mayweather, may he rest in peace, inshallah. Shout out to my broski, my Akhi Deontay, the entrepreneur of new media that I'm a part of. New media, the narrative is the whole absolute truth, and Akhi always put it together like puzzle every single time. Therefore, if you're a casual fan and you want to be a hardcore, all you have to do is click on the notification bell to get notified every time I post or go live on Split Decision. It's a boxing debate / talk show, mixed, master, engineered, produced by yours truly, Akhi, the past, present, and future undisputed pound for pound #1 when it comes to debating. I got these decafs shook. They scared to look every time Akhi's on TV, because the truth is always bad news for these decafs. The truth is the decaf's kryptonite. So to all of my Akhis, always remember, yes, there's 2 sides to every story. But once the truth is spoken, the other side is nothing but a lie. Click on the notification bell, subscribe, and to be continued on the next episode of Akhi, Ak TV. Peace, and we out here.